What's up, everyone? James Lynch here. I wanted to talk a bit about this Ariel Helwani, Michael Bisping feud that sort of happened over the weekend. Shout out to Championship Rounds for putting this all together here. But I'll just read the sort of the top here. It says Ariel Helwani goes off on Michael Bisping. And, you know, sort of gives the quote and everything else. And this is sort of because of how Ariel reported the Conor McGregor updates leading up to his eventual withdrawal from the card. And Bisping wasn't a fan, and then Ariel kind of clapped back. So we're going to listen to what they both have to say here. And I have some thoughts on this because I think there's some stuff I think is correct here, and there's some stuff here I think is incorrect, just from my perspective. So we're going to hear what they have to say here first. I'll give my take, and then you guys let me know what you think in the comments.
A lot of the time he's posting and tweeting like he's an expert on everything, but he knows nothing. He's putting feelers out there because that's what he wants to do. That's his badge of honor. He likes to break news. If I hear of a situation, I'm not doing investigative journalism, trying to find out, like my life depends on it, and I will risk everything so I can be the one to break it, because who gives a and it's none of your business. What will be will be. Stay out of it, you prick.
Michael Bisping, who...
Okay, so let's just quickly first talk about what Bisping said here. And I've heard a lot of people criticize Ariel about how he handled the updates leading up to UFC 303. This is kind of what happens in media, is that if you get a bit of information and you're trying to inform the public, and I know a lot of people says, oh, he's not really saying anything. I mean, he did initially mention that there were some issues with McGregor fighting, a possible injury, all these different things. And then he was kind of just giving an update of what he's hearing behind the scenes. I don't mind that. If the UFC is not going to keep us in the loop as far as what is happening with the headliner of one of their big cards, I don't mind hearing Ariel, who's extremely, you know, in the know. I don't mind him updating us. A lot of people were like, oh, you're just doing this for clout. No, as someone who works in the media, I don't have the sources that Ariel has in regards to Conor McGregor and UFC 303. I don't mind hearing updates on this. So I think Bisping's a bit in the wrong here. It is Ariel's job to kind of keep us informed. I know, again, there's going to be people here saying, well, you didn't give us any information, so to speak. It doesn't matter. I'd rather know something than know nothing. So I don't mind what Ariel's doing. And I don't think he's doing this for clout or anything like that. I think Ariel is just doing what he normally does, and that is keeping us informed of what's going on. So I didn't mind this. I think Bisping went a little bit hard in the paint, but here's Ariel's response. And while I do understand his frustration, I don't agree with what he has to say here. Here's what Ariel has to say, and said this on The Ringer show.
I see him talking about me with such vitriol, with such animosity, with such hatred, where he's talking about like, it's none of my business. And I'm dying to know, and I'm dying to be first. Well, hopefully the video that I posted of me walking outside at 2:30 would refute that, dying to be first. The idea that it's none of my business, it's quite literally my business to be reporting and be in the know.
Yeah, Ariel's 100% right here. Listen, I get people criticizing Ariel for things that he does or how he does his interviews. Like, no one's immune to criticism, but he's 100% right here. I'm 100% on Ariel's side as far as his job. His job is to find out what's going on with the fights. It's not, and again, people make this out like he's doing this for some sort of clout or some sort of update. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as he is giving us the information we might have at our disposal. I mean, think of people that bought tickets to this event. If you even had a hint that McGregor was going to be out, or that things were looking good or they weren't looking good, you'd probably want to know that. So I don't mind what Ariel did here. I think he's right. Let's keep going.
Oh, that's journalism. And he says, like, I'm not trying to be some investigative journalist. Yeah, I know you're not trying to be some investigative journalist. You're a slap fighting commentator. You're a bootlicker. You're a former bad boy who became a bootlicker, who wants to stay in good standing and has realized, like the likes of Ali Abdelaziz, that it's better for you and your career in your pocket, and more power to you to be on Dana's good side. So if he could see these clips, he'll be like, good on you, Mike. And so you have chosen to pick a fight with me or to discredit me in order to curry favor with your boss, who gives you a few quid to commentate and be excited about slap fighting. To me, it's shameful. It's embarrassing. And that's why I refer to him as bootlicker Bisping now. And he can say whatever the he wants about me.
The part at the end about calling Bisping a bootlicker and all this different stuff, I disagree with that. I don't think Bisping made this video to get in Dana White's favor. That's not how I took this. I just think he generally did not like the way that Ariel reported the McGregor stuff. Like, that's just my opinion. I mean, you guys can disagree with me here, but I don't feel like Bisping was doing this to win over Dana White, like Ariel kind of claimed here. As far as calling him a bootlicker and all this different stuff, like, look, like, say what you want. I'm not a fan of Power Slap. I mean, that is true that he does do commentary for it. I mean, people should be allowed to criticize that. So I don't think Ariel's wrong there. I think he went a bit too far, saying that he's a bootlicker and all this different stuff. And listen, at the end of the day, we all try and be professional. Again, when you're on the journalism side of things, you got to be careful about what you say. And I'm not here to lecture Ariel. I just think that, like, calling him a bootlicker and, adding in the F word at the end here, I just don't think that's a good look personally. But at the same time, I understand Ariel's frustration in that you have people attacking him for just doing his job. I don't think Ariel did anything that was out of the ordinary, was wrong or anything like that. So kind of my opinion is this. I think Bisping has a right to criticize the way Ariel does his work. I think he's wrong about saying that it's not his business and he shouldn't be keeping people informed. But then on the flip side, it's for Ariel, like Ariel has a right to sort of, fire back at Bisping and everything. I just don't think he needed to call him a bootlicker. If you want to say like, hey, you're only doing this to win Dana White's favor, I think bootlicking's a bit extreme. Like I don't watch Bisping and think, oh, he's always pro UFC. I think Bisping's one of the few outspoken analysts that you see on YouTube and on, the broadcasts and stuff. I actually enjoy a lot of what Bisping does. So I think that was a bit too far. But again, I understand where Ariel's coming from, where he's like, look, like I'm just doing my job and here's a guy attacking me for no reason. And to compare him to the manager that he just spoke of, I don't think it's anywhere close to that, right? Like he's saying that the same way that manager is, trying to get won over by Dana White, Bisping's doing the same thing. I don't think Bisping needs to. I mean, Bisping's doing fine. He's not, I don't think, I'm sure, like I said, Dana's probably happy to see all this, but I don't think that was Bisping's motive. I think he really felt that way. And I think Ariel's just upset and he's sort of going back the other way. So as far as who won this argument or who looks better, I think they're both wrong to a certain degree. And I think that, I think Bisping got it wrong as far as how the sport's covered. Like, I don't mind. Like, again, there's a lot, like if you're a random account and you're just posting updates about Conor McGregor, then I think Bisping would have an argument here. But he's talking about the most established journalist in our industry, in Ariel Helwani. Again, I don't care if you're a fan of him or not. You can't deny the fact that no one is more, notable, recognized in our industry than Ariel Helwani. Like I always love people crapping on the media and they're like, the media sucks and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well then who's good? Right? Like if you want to crap on Ariel, tell me who's good. You never hear that. It's just people love to be negative on things. And like I said, I think if you want to criticize Ariel Helwani, there are other things you can criticize him for. I think this one is not one that deserves to be criticized. So Bisping, like I said, in the wrong for that. And Ariel, again, I'm not a fan of, going hard in the paint on people. I think there's a way of getting your point across and being upset with what Bisping said without having to go the route of calling him a bootlicker and swearing. And I just, hopefully these guys can work it out because I enjoy both of them. I really enjoy Bisping, and I think that Bisping's someone to speak his mind and all that. But I think again, calling another analyst bootlicker Bisping, not the type of look that I would want to see. So I guess my question to you guys is I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Whose side are you on here? And if you're on whichever side, I'd like to hear why you're on their side and what you agree with and what you disagree with. I would love to hear that. Again, I'm always trying to cover stuff that's going on in the media. This was something I did see on the weekend. And, I think it's worth talking about. We don't talk enough about things that are happening in the media as far as coverage. People just talk about the things they like and they don't like, but they don't actually analyze situations that are happening like this. That's kind of my thing. I enjoy talking about the media because I work on both sides of the coin. Like I said, I do sort of my journalism stuff in my interviews, and then I do my content creation as well, like the stuff you're seeing here today. So for me, this is stuff that I think is interesting. I think is worth discussing because most of the commentary you're going to see is just people talking on Twitter who have no idea how the media works. So that's what we're going to discuss here today in the comments. Hopefully, follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.